You don't have to spend $300 to play Titanicus anymore.
Spiky Bits.
Welcome back, Hobby Maniacs. I'm Baer from SpikyBits.com, and we're talking Titans again today. So the brand new Adeptus Titanicus starter is out, and it's a great value. I won't lie. The last one I thought was pretty good if you were getting into the game itself, but that was $290. And fast forward to 2020, and now you can pick up this starter right here with pretty much everything you need except for terrain to get started in the game for $150 US. Now you can always get your hobbies for less at Miniature Market or dicehead.com, so make sure you check them out for this fantastic bundle deal right here. But once you get it, you'll definitely notice a few things. So compared to the $290 box set, the box is actually not as sturdy, and it's it's kind of one of those things where they definitely sacrificed a little bit on the packaging to get this price point down. But I feel like I'll show you a couple other things in here too, but I feel like in the future, who cares at that point? It's all about the money, the hobby bucks at that point, I feel like, to really get it down and kind of dial it in. So this particular kit is actually, it comes with a lot of value. So you're gonna open it up and see all the sprues here. Now we've showed you all this, and we've actually showed you how to magnetize all these before, and I'll put the links in the cards and stuff above, and I don't know if I'll get them down below because I gotta check, but either way there will be ways to find this. So basically you're gonna get all the Titans here, and we'll talk about that here in a second, and also the rules sprue, or the command sprue, which you're going to need because it has all these little pips for the command dials, but we'll talk about, or the command terminals, but we'll talk about that in a second. The arcs, which really aren't that big of a deal to kind of figure out. It's actually quite easy, and all your stratagem little terrain pieces right there that help you in the game that you have to pay points for, and you can actually stomp over them like Godzilla. And the the templates too. So this game actually does use templates, but it's not that bad, to be quite honest. Then I know what you're thinking. Oh my gosh, is that a Titanicus poster? And yes, it is right here. Look at that. The world's first Adeptus Titanicus poster, free inside this box. $150, free poster right there. Super value. I'm not serious, but it's kind of serious. And then here's a couple ideas on other stuff to buy. You actually might want to pick up a Warlord Titan. We'll do a cost breakdown on that here in the future. Now, I've already opened this up to kind of, see everything that was in it. But basically, you're going to get a softcover rulebook, which is different from the hardcover rulebook that came in not only the rules set itself, but also the Grandmaster Edition that was $290. Now, this comes with the same components. You get the cards for the Titans, which apparently come separately in each Titan now. You're going to get some terminals, which were hard card stock. These are a little bit kind of flimsier, but not. We'll talk about that in a second. The dice and the stratagems, and also secondary and tertiary objectives that you can kind of play on your stuff right here. We'll talk about that. Quick reference cards, which also come in the starter and the rule set, which they might be redoing the rule set to contain this softcover book in the future. We don't really know. And then the basis for the Titans, instructions for the Titans, and not really anything else that's super important in here. So let's talk value for a second here. Now, normally I would say that the rule set up here would be worth $60 because that's basically what it was when it came out with the hardcover book. But GW might re-release it down the road. It might be less because it's may or may not come with a softcover book. But it's been updated with all the one FAQ that actually came out for Titanicus, which addressed a few rules that were actually it was actually worth it. But for most folks, we've kind of figured it out from there, right? So no worries. You're going to get everything that comes in that: your battlefield assets, your stratagem cards, which I showed you earlier, and then your weapon cards and some command terminals, which came in this one. They were the harder, thicker card stock. These ones are a little thinner, and we'll talk about that here in a second. Then you're going to get the models, and let's talk models. So you're going to get a box of Cerastus Knights, which currently are just the Lancers in there, but there is command terminals for the other two Cerastus classes, which may come in the future. Who knows? One box of Warhound Titans. So the Warhounds actually come in a box of two for $65, I believe. The Reaver Titans are separate, and these actually have different armaments. So these are both $60 US. So assuming this is 60 when it's re-released, 60, 35, and 65, you're looking at a total MSRP value-wise of $280, which it's pretty good for 150 bucks. Again, it's not $290. This is affordable. You can get into it. It's actually less than most 40K starters and AOS starters now that I think about it right there. And really, you don't need to buy anything else to have fun. Now, if you do want to do the minimum detachments, as they basically call them in the Titan rulebook. Now, I haven't read through this to see. I know it has more pages in it. I believe this is 96 pages, so they have changed some things. They have tweaked some things. I haven't read through it. I just got it in my hot little hands and wanted to get this video recorded right here. So maybe we'll do a post on that later on. But long story short, it's going to have all the base rules you need to play in here, just like the last one did. But let's dive in a second. It's not going to be a replacement for any of the expansion books, which I guess there's about 3 now at this point, which is kind of unfortunate, but kind of a necessity when it comes to GW games. Now, as far as the maniples go, that's your basic detachment for Titanicus, right? So your basic maniple is the axial maniple, which you're going to get in this box sans a Warlord Titan. When a Warlord Titan's retails for $110. So in theory, you would have to buy a Warlord Titan to play in a detachment format, aka a legal list. But realistically, just having to buy one model to play an illegal game seems okay to me, coming in a starter box kind of format. There is the Myrmidon battle line, which is 3 warlords, which I don't recommend starting out with, because this is incredibly, depending on what you equip them with, you might not even be able to field it in 2,000 points, to be quite honest. There is the Venator light maniple, which you can actually field in this box if you just buy another box of Warhound Titans. But keep in mind, these are $65. The Warlord is $110. So if you're gonna spend money, I feel like maybe just go ahead and buy the Warlord, get it over with, get it, and so you can play with one big thing, a couple of medium things, and a couple of little things, and maybe some of the battlefield assets, and kind of get a feel for the game, at least at first. So cool value all the way around, updated rulebook, good stuff. Now, when it comes to the command terminals here, like I said, they're a lot thinner. They're just your basic card, not hard card or anything like we've seen components to games in the past. That is gonna, while I understand why they did it to save money, I get it, that's gonna present a little bit of a problem to people that don't want to do a little bit extra work. I mean, you can do it and you can use dice to mark your things, but the problem is that there's these little nubs on the back of where are they? Oh, right there. So there's these little nubs on the back of things right here, and these nubs are designed to actually, there was holes on these command terminals when they were thicker, right? So in theory they would sit in there, but they kind of bowed and they were kind of a pain, so it didn't work out the greatest. Now, what this is perfect for is actually laminating these, getting some magnetized backer board right here that they actually sell over on Amazon, and I'll put the links to this tutorial. And what you can do is, once you laminate your command terminals, you can get some magnetized push pins and actually super easy keep track of all your plasma reactors, your void shields, your wound markers, any war gear you might have if your thing's disabled or something like that. You can keep track of it all on this thing right here, because this backer board is actually magnetized, and it doesn't take a whole lot. You can get the sheets of laminate and just laminate it yourself, and then I just took some double stick tape and double stick it right there to the back of this, and it's pretty much good to go. And I actually leave these preloaded in my box, so I stack them together, and when I'm ready to go and ready to play, I just pull them right out of my little tray and set them up on the table, and I don't have to fumble with any war gear cards or anything like that unless I'm playing a new list, and everything's just ready to go. Now, we're not going to spend any time on the screws, unfortunately, because I've actually showed you on the previous videos, which I'll link in the top right here in the cards, how to put those together and actually how to magnetize the kits themselves. I would like to show you some finished Titans, some finished painted Titans, believe it or not, that we have here. And here's the first one. Here's a Reaver Titan that you're actually going to get this one, or this components, to make this one in the box set, because you get both versions of them. So there's ways to magnetize them. This one I actually glued the arm to it, but you can just pop it right into there. And I think this one I magnetized the little arm peg, so I could switch it out with pretty much any of the weapons that come out, kind of future-proofing the Titans. Also magnetized it at the waist, and I'll show you how to do all of this in some of the other videos. And the top carapace weapon right there. I think we even show you how to paint these, believe it or not. It's a pretty simple recipe, and we use the Sharpie markers to do pretty much all the trim, just about, but we also have a color match to get in there and do the very, very thin parts of the little points right there where it gets a little bit dicey. So there's the Reaver Titan. And then we've got a little baby Warhound Titan here too. And of course, this little cute guy is all painted up as well in Warp Runner's colors. And it's got the magnetized weapons and magnetized it. Oop, did I glue that guy down? I didn't think I did. Maybe I did. Don't want to pull too hard, or it might just pop off right there. And last but not least that you'll get in the box is a Cerastus Knight. And now this is on a 50mm base, whereas the smaller Questoris Knights are on a 40mm base, Dreadnought size base. So these are the models that you're actually going to get in the box in various quantities. Now, if you're wondering, hey, how am I going to store this stuff? We also have a tutorial on how to do that. But wait, there's more tutorials. So this case right here is actually a scrapbooking case that you can get from Michaels or Amazon too, and I'll put the links in there. And basically, we just fill it up with. It literally holds all of our Titans in here. Now we've got the new Warbringer Titan that just came out this week as well, and I'm not sure if that bad boy is gonna fit in here. I'm hoping it does, but if not, we'll figure it out from there. So I got more room for more of the smaller Titans when I'm not carrying them in my tableware case. This case right here costs, I don't even know, I want to say less than 20 bucks to make. It's some tin, some duct tape, some double-sided tape keeping it together underneath, and pretty much everything. You can even leave the weapons in the warlords right there, and it all fits in good to go right there. So we'll put that in the comments as well. So that is it for this one. Thank you very much for checking this unbox and review of the new Titanicus starter for, I guess it's the Horus Heresy now, so to speak. It really is a great game, guys. You owe it to yourself to at least try it out. 150 bucks. It's much more affordable. You really only have to buy one more box of Titans to go with it. You can get your hobbies for less at Miniature Market or DiceHead.com. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you can be the very first to like and comment and watch more Titanicus videos here on the channel.